Hey, what's up, wrong person? What's up, Clara? Good to see you guys. Have y'all tried out the new game mode? Okay, well, you've been here. You've been here for the past couple of days, so I'm sure you guys have. Learned Blender and made a decent axe. Blender, like Blender 3D? Blender? That Blender? Also, why an axe? Of all the things you can make in Blender, why an axe? I haven't used Blender since like Blender 2.5. Well, technically I have used whatever version it's been for the last couple of years, like 2.8 I guess. But like I've really only used it for making minor video edits. But as for the 3D part of it, I haven't used it in like since 2.5, maybe 2.4. Yeah. So you said you learned Blender. Did you learn how to make a donut? In the... Oh, hey, what's up, Ice Bear? How are you, man? Who is this Walmart Scar? Made a Glock 9 than an axe. Oh, Clara, if you want to learn Blender, you definitely like. Okay, sorry, I didn't finish what I was about to say. So what I was about to say, in the Blender community, not necessarily a meme, but like the guy is like, his name is like synergistic with Blender at this point. On YouTube, he's called Blender Guru. I highly recommend it. He's the guy that I learned how to use Blender from. He did make a newer guide with the new interface, like 2.8 or 2.9, whatever the newer version is. But the guides I watched of him from like years ago was for 2.2 or 2.3. I don't remember, but it was the old version. Hey, what's up, Azzy? How are you, man? About Manchuria map. Nice face. Manchuria map. I think this is almost over. How do you feel about Imaginarium Theater? I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I think my opinion of it is just barely, no, not by a lot, but just barely tilted more towards I don't like it, but not a lot. Again, just really just a lot. Sorry, really just a little. And that's mostly because it takes up so much time. And like, for example, now, okay, I haven't tried to like do a run and then just stop. I think I can just go in, but like my okay, I guess it's similar to Abyss. Like, for example, if whatever my progress is, like if I'm up to like Act 5 or something, and then I decide like, okay, well, I gotta do dailies or something. Like when I go back, when I'm done with dailies and I go back, I'll still be like at whatever progress I was at Act 5, but Act 4. But yeah, it just takes much longer than Abyss did. I mean, I haven't timed it. I really haven't timed it, but it just feels like it takes much longer. At least for me. I think it's mostly because like I can't just run my teams, and like because it's going to like it's likely going to change like whatever elements are allowed to be played in. In whatever whatever elements are allowed to be played, whatever like the special guests are allowed to be played. And yeah, it's like it's going to change quite a bit, but I can't just run the same teams that I've built. I can't just, okay, well, I'm gonna run Hyper Bloom team here. I'm gonna run National here. I'm gonna run Hu-Tao Double Hydro here. Like I have to like constantly be thinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it makes it so that I now have to take more time. And I think it's okay. Like, it's okay because, like, I think overall, a lot of endgame players have been bored with Abyss because, like, alright, new Abyss, and then, like, whenever there's a new Abyss, like, all the endgame players are doing is, okay, are there any elements that I should not bring? And then, once they figure that out, they'll just use any team that they want. Which quest is this? Siege. Siege mid-story quest. Yes, it is. It is. I mean, I'm gonna be doing it anyway, so I might as well use it to do dailies. So, yeah, I might as well use up that time that I'm gonna spend doing it to do dailies as well. Honestly, I think it would have been fine if it was either elemental restrictions or Vicar. Vicar? You mean Vigor? Oh, okay. Well, I don't need to finish this yet then. But it shouldn't be both, because that's just playing to people who are whales, who get C6 everything. Sorry. Find the elemental restrictions or vigor. Sorry, I'm trying to imagine if it was like only one of those. Like how much of a, like how different it would be. So if it was only the elemental restrictions without the vigor. Okay. Okay, I'm like starting to like get a picture of what that would be like. So if it was only vigor, like that would mean like we would be able to use just any character. But just okay. I guess I get what you mean. But then, like, the the game mode itself is not very hard. Like, even on hard mode, the now okay, obviously I don't have this data, right? Like, I don't have the data on like how much HP the enemies in there have, but it honestly feels like they're a bit squishier. Not just not by just a little, like quite a big margin. They're certainly a lot tankier than the overworld enemies, but yeah, they certainly feel squishier than the Abyss enemies. I feel sluggish. Did I have cryo on me? I think I did. So yeah, like for example, in this iteration of it, where we're only allowed pyro and electro characters, obviously a pyro, electro, and animo. So we're most likely doing swirls or overloads, and obviously those elemental reactions are hardly strong, right? And like a lot of the DPS that's going on in this iteration of Imaginarium Theater is like raw damage of the characters that we have. And if it's just raw damage, and somehow I'm still like clearing relatively easily, then yeah, it's hardly a, I guess, power check. The game mode is hardly a power check. It's more like a check of how many characters do you have available. Because if you have the oh hey, what's up, Anoko? How you doing, man? Because if it's if you now, I haven't fully done the math yet on like the most optimal like number of characters that you need to have built. Like the most and by optimal I mean like I guess the minimum is what I'm trying to say. The minimum number of characters that you would need to have and have built on your account, like for you to be able to successfully get through it. So yesterday, like my unrealistic math of it was like 4 characters, right? Because like each character has 4 really well built on-field characters that can like and the type of characters they are the ones that can just solo DPS, or at the very least really only need minor like supports. But obviously because of the randomness, like you don't know which character from your supporting cast you're gonna get in what order you're gonna get each character from your supporting cast in. Obviously 4 characters is not ideal. It's not realistic, but it's possible if you just get really lucky, but it's not realistic. So maybe somewhere around, I don't know, like somewhere around 8 maybe, I think is a little closer to reality. But still, 8 really well built characters, and those are characters that can just solo DPS or need very minimal support. That's a lot. That's asking for a lot. Now, I understand it's also the same for Abyss. Like, in Abyss, you don't need that many characters really well built. You just need, like, two, like, on-field DPSs if you like the on-field DPSs, or, like, one on-field DPS for one of your teams, and, like, the other team can be, like, all really OP supports. Oh, wait. No, I just used up my resin. I thought I haven't. I just did it, actually. And it's understandable, but it's slightly different in Abyss. In Abyss, like the current form of Abyss, it's like they want you to vertically invest. Because there's a timer, and the enemy HPs are really high, so you just want to invest into like 2 or 3 teams, and that's it. And the teams doesn't necessarily mean every member of that team is highly invested in. It could just be like 1 or 2 that are highly invested in those teams. Why is this really quiet? My thing isn't working. Okay. Yep, alright, there it is. It's working. My earphones weren't working. So, I guess if their goal was to make it so that players you know, like they wanted to change players' mindsets about like how they wanted to build their accounts, like instead of only vertically investing, because vertically investing for Hoyo is not like, they don't want that. They want players to pull for more characters. Now, granted, pulling for constellations of those characters, it might, you know, it's the same thing for them. Because one constellation is basically 1 5-star. But I imagine, like, some of their developers, obviously development at that, in this type of media, it's also a form of artistry, right? Like there's literal artists working on these characters. The concept artists, like the people that are coming up with like the concept art of what the characters might look like, what the landscapes might look like. And obviously there's the 3D modelers as well. Right, those are also a form of artists. And of course, a lot of those people are also very passionate about their work, and they want more people to be able to appreciate their work. And I imagine they would prefer that more players pull for more characters instead of more constellations. And I think if their goal with Imaginarium Theater was to make players to incentivize players to vertically invest into their accounts by pulling for more characters instead of pulling for more constellations and just weapons, then I think they've achieved that goal. Because I think Imaginarium Theater feels really bad on an account that barely has characters. And I think I need to claim 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. True. That's fine, but alone elements or restrictions and vigor, fine together. But together, they're just too annoying. They're dismantling such a core part of the game, which is theory crafting and team building. Okay, that's another thing too. Yeah, so that's the one part of the way Imaginarium Theater is designed. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm also like just sad. I'm just sad that they're reducing the value of theory crafting and team building. I mean, like, I don't know, I'm confused because, like, they created this very unique elemental system in Genshin, and I think it is by far one of the biggest reasons why this theory crafting community is the way it is in Genshin. It's because it's not the most complicated like combat mechanics ever, but it's also not like brain dead easy. It's not like just, you know, spam everything, all your stats into attack. Right? It's not like a lot of MMORPGs that you just have to balance yourself around like strength, dexterity, and stamina, like for melee units, and like intelligence for spellcasters, you know, stuff like that, right? Like it's a lot more complicated, but it's not the hardest thing ever. So it's like it's hard enough to, it's easy enough for casual players to kind of get into it, but it's also complicated enough to make it so that hardcore players are not bored of it, and that it actually feels satisfying to play for like the not very smart hard players that want to try hard. If that makes sense. Like, players like me, for example, right? Like I'm somebody who I don't consider to be a hardcore player. I'm also not a casual player, but because like I do enjoy Genshin's combat system, but I'm just not smart enough to actually do calcs on my own. Like, and I'm not creative enough to come up with unique teams on my own. But because I'm at this like middle of the road, I'm this like, I guess I'm an average player. I'm an average player, but because Genshin's combat system is simple enough for me to engage into like the I guess the higher levels of at least try to engage in the higher levels of like theory crafting or like team building, that I can at least try to engage in it. And because it's complicated enough, it makes me feel like I'm smart. Makes me feel like, oh, I figured this out. Like, I understand this. Wow, I'm smart. Like, it feels satisfying too, because it feels like I achieved something. And yet, Imaginarium Theater is like, okay, I guess sure, you will still need to know how to build characters properly if you want Imaginarium Theater to be a lot easier. But then, like, the barrier for entry when it comes to like how strong your characters are, that like how strong your characters need to be to allow you to comfortably get through Imaginarium Theater is not so high, which means we won't have to invest too much effort into like really min-maxing to the moon all the different characters that we built, as well as like we won't have to farm like 6 to 8 months in artifact domains to get the perfect artifacts. Now, granted, that is both a good and a bad, but like, because, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, some of the more casual players who want to put in a little effort and, you know, try a little hard, they won't feel the satisfaction of doing it. Because they don't need to, because the enemies aren't that strong. Which doesn't make them feel like, oh, I gotta build this character really well. Therefore, they don't feel obliged to have to put in so much effort into making their characters really strong. Because they don't need to. And because they didn't put in any effort, or sorry, like much effort into building their character, making their character stronger, they also don't get that, you know, really good feeling of reward. Like, you know, like their characters can now do this much damage after working so hard to build them.
静粛に
You still only have 12 characters, and if it was elemental restrictions, only have to think about what you bring, and you couldn't always bring all your best characters. Vigor, you would have to choose carefully who you use for those 12 characters you bring alongside the trial characters. New mode kind of punish people who didn't pull a lot and just pull for what they like. Okay, well, okay, that's pulling. I have to like categorize those like differently, because pulling for someone you like doesn't always mean you're pulling for a bad character, right? Like you might actually be pulling for a good character, and pulling for not pulling a lot, like they're different categories. Right? Like, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but like I think they're different categories. Oh, that I messed up. Because pulling for a lot of characters, for the type of player that pulls, that just pulls for characters that they like, that could mean that they're pulling for a lot of characters at the same time. But it also doesn't mean that they're pulling for bad characters as well. What if the characters they like are actually just all good characters, right? So I'm gonna change this statement into like people who didn't pull for a lot of characters, and instead pulled for a lot of constellations or weapons. And that severely limits their team building options and how many team archetypes that they team building options, and like it severely limits how many characters that they can take into the Imaginarium Theater. And I think that makes the Imaginarium Theater a lot harder, because yeah, it very much is, again, it's not a DS check, it's not a how strong how well you built your characters check. It's more like a check of like, okay, have you been pulling for a lot of characters just like what Hoyo wants? Check. With backpack, it's just punishing people who don't pull for everything and don't build everything, which again, building is time consuming and just very limiting amount of stuff you can farm a day. That is true. That is another thing too. Yeah, Kaza is the best support for a team like Imagination Theater. Well, Kazuha's great everywhere, not just there, but in the overworld, in Abyss, well, in most Abysses, depending on the enemy lineup. But yeah, Kazuha's kind of great anywhere you put him, really. Oh, when they added geo restrictions, major player base is gonna geo restrictions. Oh no! You're right. I did not think of that. One day, one day they're gonna say only geo characters. Well, with whatever other elements will be there at the time. And then we're all screwed. I did not think of that, actually. You're absolutely right, actually. Geo. Nobody has Geo characters. Or if they do, they haven't built them. Alright, on to the third account. Sorry, I'm just trying to, like, I rambled so much earlier that I'm trying to catch up with all your guys' messages. Some of these messages are like 10 minutes old. I'm sorry, I just want to catch up to all of them. Like they know how difficult it is to build characters. They made it difficult to build characters, which makes this game even more annoying. It's not hard, it's just annoying. Vertical investment versus horizontal investment. That exactly. Yeah. Please say Kazuha is best support for a team like Imaginarium Theater. Kazuha is the best support for everywhere, really, not just Imaginarium Theater, man. They're weeding out the pull for what you like mentality. They're also weeding out the only pull on meta characters mentality. Like me. Like, look, okay, I'm not on my main account anymore, but like for an account that's been at AR60 for almost 2 years now, I have really few characters. Because I pulled for a lot of constellations. So, like C3 Raiden Shogun. Sooner or later, I'm gonna pull for C3 Nahida as well at some point. C3 Nivelette as well. Obviously, there's C6 Ganyu on my main account. That took me a while, but C6 Ganyu, that could have been 6 other characters. Right? That could have been 6 other characters. C3 Raiden Shogun, that could have been 3 more characters. Though I could have had 9 more other limited 5-star characters. What other constellations do I have there? I don't remember actually. Do I even? Oh, C2 Furina. So this, like, I could have had what, 9, 11 more. Yeah, 11 different limited 5-stars. And I'm sure that's what Hoyo wants. That's only going to discourage more players from doing that by making this game that way. It's obvious Hoyo created it to rake in more money rather than giving players something fun. Now, okay. I don't know if it will directly, like, it might indirectly, it might be indirectly like a more money strategy, but I don't think it's like directly a more money strategy, because now that it's out, right now that the Imaginarium Theater is out, players that are just starting now or like have just started playing the game in the last 1 or 2 months and haven't really gotten their accounts to the point where they've started building their characters and like teams for late game, and they're sort of just trying to, like, they're still like in the middle of like getting through all their Archon quests. They're at the point where they barely have enough to make a team. So for these players that are just starting out now or have only started like a month or 2 ago, the mindset for how they're going to change, how they're going to build their accounts, and by build their accounts, that also includes pulling for how they're, like their character choices for like which banners they're going to pull for. The existence of Imaginarium Theater is going to change that mindset. And it's going to make it so that there are going to be a lot more players that decide to pull for other characters as well, and not just a select few. Okay, I know it's obvious that I'm not an FPS gamer, but you don't have to. You don't have to remind me. I understand. So, okay, anyway, why I started rambling about the whole newer players will have a different mindset now compared to the older players, is so because players that are starting out now will have a different mindset, and there are going to be a lot more players who are going to pull for more characters instead of only pulling for the meta characters, and only going to pull for their constellations. Is because those players are essentially going to be whether they're spenders or not, they're going to be spending. Oh yikes, that was a mistake. They're still going to be spending the same amount of primos and or Genesis crystals in the game, because they're still going to be pulling for the same number of characters that they would have instead. But the only difference will have been that they pulled for more. They pulled for more less constellations and more unique characters. Now, as for the older players who have already vertically invested and are now struggling because they don't have a wide enough roster of characters, there are going to be a few of them who can actually afford to buy Genesis crystals, and are going to be frantically trying to spend money to try and get their accounts to catch up to how many characters that are built that they need to get to be able to fully complete Imaginarium Theater. So I think for a little while, those types of players are going to there's going to be a likelihood of some of those players, the ones who can afford to, that are going to be spending quite a lot in the next couple of months, or maybe over the next year, because they realize, oh no, I don't have enough characters. I invested too much into these two teams. Okay, oh, there's a Nivelette rerun. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull for him because I need more characters. He's not my favorite. He's not my favorite character. I don't like his playstyle, but I also don't hate it. But still, I just need another character. Okay, well, I'll pull for him then. Pull for meta / design character. Won't pull for if it's just design. Meta / design. Yeah, me too. I hope the next time trial characters were C6 R5. Huh. What an interesting game mode that would be. I think that might actually incentivize not a lot, but a handful of players to whale out, the ones who can actually afford to whale out. because they're gonna be able to get the full experience of an R5 C6 character in their trial run, and they're gonna realize, wow, this is awesome. But then, oh, this is a trial character. I don't get to keep it. But wait, they're on the banner right now. Especially the special guest characters. Because okay, so while I'm not obviously I don't know if the special guest the you know, like, I'm doing air quotes, by the way. So I don't know if the special guest characters are going to be characters that are specifically on the current set of banners. But if they are, then it's like a good place for them to showcase that. Oh, didn't get the last one. Don't worry, RJ, if I had a random teammate with your aim, I would be thanking the lords. Okay, it sounds like you're an FPS gamer, but like you're an FPS gamer. You probably play PUBG, but like you probably play in like whatever the game mode is called, like team mode or whatever. But then like you just get random teammates the whole time. Like instead of like you know, playing with your friends, you play with random people most of the time. But like you just have had a terrible experience with it, because like yeah, yikes. Okay, well, I've never played co-op with random people in shooters before, but I can certainly imagine how annoying that could be, because like I used to play Dota 2, Dota 1 on online. Like here in Southeast Asia, we used to use a platform called Garena, and that's how we used to play Dota 1. Just like you know, like how we do, how we play Dota 2 now. And obviously I played a little bit of Dota 2 as well. And boy, oh boy, was it annoying if you ever got teammates that were just the worst. Oh, yikes, that was close. That was not as close. There are rumors that Zhongli and Abilit might be power crept in Natlan. Wow. That's... I don't know how to feel about that, really. If that does happen, so okay, Zhongli, I wouldn't, okay, I don't think it's, I think it would be less a power creep and more like, yay, we have a second Xingqiu. You know, like how Yelan wasn't a Xingqiu power creep. She was just a second Yelan. Or sorry, a second Xingqiu. Right? Like she wasn't a Xingqiu power creep. She was just a second Xingqiu, because like we were all hungry for a second Xingqiu for a very long time. Garena is dead in the Philippines. I have no idea. I haven't played it in like 15 years? No. Wait, when's the last time I played it? Probably 17 to 19 years now. I haven't played on Garena in like, yeah, since then. Like since I was like in 7th grade? 8th grade? Yeah, it will likely be more like you'll feel like, oh cool, a second Zhongli. Oh cool, a second Nivelette. Okay, Nivellette's a little weirder because like he's an on-field DPS, but like if you want to use Nivelette because like, you're like he's OP. If you have a second one of those, why not? And okay, great, you have 2 teams now that have way OP on-field DPSs, right? Like why not? Oh shoot, I keep forgetting this. And I'm frozen. Wow, that was a 78k burst. Oh, come on. Wait, what? How am I full already? Well, that was fast. That was... I'm surprised at how fast that was. I stopped playing Garena before I was born. You stopped playing Garena before you were born. Before, wait, what do you mean? Dude, I'm 32 years old. No, 31. So 19 years ago, I would have been like 12. Yeah. They play Garena for League of Legends, but it's not available in Garena and has Riot Games manage the Philippine servers for League. Wait, League of Legends doesn't have their own thing? They don't have their own, like, you know, like with like Dota 2 has Steam for it, right? Like, and it doesn't have to be like an entire store, but like they don't have their own like launcher and like own, oh, like even like look at StarCraft, even StarCraft Brood War, well, StarCraft Remastered has their own like matchmaking thing. League doesn't have that. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I'm just very surprised because, like, with how big League is. Oh, sorry. I didn't get the, I didn't get the change that you made. Yeah. All right. 19 years ago, it didn't exist until 4 years later. Wow. 79 EM. Would this ever be useful? Maybe as an off piece? Like, okay, so if I get like close to 100 EM, if I could get like one good EM roll here, like I might actually keep this. Because I don't think I have any pieces that have close to 100 EM. I think the max I have is like around 80 only. Yeah, of course. And yeah, of course, right? Of course, but like when I'm asking for an EM roll, okay, well, it went into ER, so that's not actually completely useless. Is this garbage? Like, what are all my other pieces even? Feathers that have EM. Okay. Oops. Oh wow, wow, how I didn't know I had this. 84. 79. So it's Hunter though. Yeah, okay, I'll keep it. I guess. It's not complete garbage. It's not great, but it's also not complete garbage. 4 years later? How does that math work? I have one flower that has like 98 EM. It's currently on my Hu Tao. Wow, 98 EM on Hu Tao. Oh, well, okay. Oh, wait, I remember, oh man, I don't remember how I got to this topic. Yes, I think it was yesterday or like Monday. So okay, that's another thing too. Like that's another thing that I think is a negative for like however the Imaginarium Theater is designed. Because like for example, alright, so we have elemental restrictions. And those elemental restrictions make it so that the way that a lot of us have built our characters is based around them being run in a specific team or with specific supports. Like in your case, for example, you've built your Hu Tao in like that exact way, right? You have a flower that has 98 elemental mastery. And that elemental mastery on Hu Tao is built specifically so that your vape and or melt will do a lot more damage. But because of the elemental restrictions, now you can't run your Hu Tao with your Shinto or with your Yella or with your cryo supports to allow her to melt. So now that EM is just completely useless, and you're gonna have to redo how, like completely redo how you've built your Hu Tao. Especially if your characters have only been built to be just barely strong enough. Like, right, like let's say you're not in endgame, you're not AR60, you're not AR58, you're like AR50, and your account just barely has good enough artifacts to build this number of characters. And this number of characters that you've built so far have all been like just barely good enough to clear Imaginarium Theater if they had had the right stats. Like if, like for example, if they hadn't had like for example, instead of having that 98 EM flower on your Hu Tao, that could have been like you could have decided, okay, I'm not gonna put this on this support. I'm gonna move this flower on my Hu Tao because this has more crit ratio. Right? But then I don't know. It throws a wrench in like what order a lot of us have already established. Now, granted, that will change over time. People will grow to be able to adjust to, you know, having Imaginarium Theater in mind. But I think this is like okay. I won't say that Imaginarium Theater means Genshin is growing. But it's something similar to like a growing pain. Something similar. It's not a growing pain because I don't consider this as growth. I consider this a one step forward, one step back kind of thing. Because like, okay, Imaginarium Theater, having Imaginarium Theater means we get to do Abyss less often now. Because this thing is there. So it's a one step forward, one step back. So it's not necessarily, I don't consider it a growth. So it's not like the term growth pain, growing pains is incorrect, but it's something similar to that. It's like a pain for having to adjust to change, I guess. My first ever Dendro set flower. Dendro set flower. 103 EM. Whoa, that's awesome, man. Your first ever, too. Crazy about wanting a 16 or 24 ER roll. I think the only character I could think of that I would want that on is Shenhe. Yeah, oh, Shenhe and Yunjin. And Jianyun. Yes, and Jianyun. Because on those characters, you want to use, like, okay, on Shenhe and Jianyun, for example, you want to put attack, triple attack on them, but you also need them to have enough energy recharge, especially on Shenhe, right? Like, it's, you know, because like on Shenhe, even if you have her signature weapon doesn't help out with energy at all. At the very least, Jianyun's weapon helps out with energy. Okay, sure, you could use like Fab weapons, like, and Fab Lance is not bad on Shenhe, but even with Fab Lance, you're still gonna need quite a bit of ER in your substats, or just run an ER Sans. And while, okay, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference, but I think it will make some difference. Kazuha as well, especially if you use Zyphos or Freedom Sworn. Zyphos or Freedom Sworn. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because like wait, I'm sorry. I keep confusing not Zyphos. Freedom Sworn and Elegy buffs. So Freedom Sworn is the EM buffer, right? And Elegy is like the attack buffer. I keep forgetting. I think that's right. So okay, and if that is right, then yeah, you have your Kazuha built with Freedom Sworn to buff a specific team archetype because it's an EM buff. But then now, like, okay, like now at least it's kind of okay because like whatever elemental mastery, whatever elemental reaction you can make now, you know, Overload and Swirl, they still do get, you know, like buffed. by Elemental Mastery. Although, you know, because they're not very good elemental reactions to begin with, they don't get buffed by a lot, but it's still a kind of buff. But then I think having an attack buff instead of that EM buff would have been a lot better. Yeah, Machine has signature weapon, 3900 attack, 178 ER with attack, Sans Goblet, Circlet. Right? Yeah, right. Like, and even, I think even like at 178 ER, I think I would still be uncomfortable with that. Like, I would still prefer to go like all the way to like 200 ER, right? Which I think is not easy. And my whale friend has, I think her son has like C6. But, and, like, so C6, signature weapon, attacks Sans Goblet and Circuit, and somehow has 200 ER. And like, I was like, when I first saw it, it blew my mind. I was like thinking, wait, how does he have 200 ER with an attack Sans and no ER weapon? And like, I looked at his substats, and he had like multiple pieces that had more than like 30 plus ER on it. And like, that's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. I don't think I've ever had an artifact roll 30 plus ER on me ever. And that's why that's why almost no one, yeah, that's why almost nobody recommends Shinha's signature weapon, because it's just so bad. It gives you the most damage, but it certainly doesn't help make it comfy to use. This whale thing, they refresh every day, so it's not. I'm not surprised. Oh, he's actually not like a Giga Whale. Like, he C6s certain characters, but not every character. He also doesn't use. He also doesn't buy resin refreshes, but he does. He does buy the Welkin every month. He buys the Welkin, which means he has a few more fragile resins than F2Ps because of the Welkin. Oh, sorry, not Welkin. Battle Pass, because of the Battle Pass thing. So he has a bit more resin than the average F2P player, but not by much. It's really only the extra resin that you get from the Battle Pass. But he does use up every single resin that he has. Every single fragile resin. He has 0 fragile resin on his account. And I think that is the biggest difference. Oh, hey, what's up, Nya? How you doing, man? Oh, sorry, Neko. Forgive me. What's up, Neko? Good to see you again. That's why the event Clam Catalyst is like their best weapon. Clam Catalyst. Oh, the Ocean Hued Clam, I believe is what it's called. It boosts her energy recharge every time she uses her skill. Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. Like like compared to Shenhe, I think Jianyun's a lot easier to build, because we have quite a few. Like we have that weapon, right? At least for the players who have been playing Genshin for long enough, to be able to play that event back then. For those who haven't, then I'm sorry, but for those who have, then hey, great. Jianyun's a pretty easy character to build. Yep. Ocean Hued Clam is the artifact set. Oh, Clam? Wait. Okay, yeah, you're right. Ocean Hued Clam. That is the artifact set. Okay, so I'm just, setting up the characters, the supporting cast characters, so that I could, I guess my friends could borrow them, and I can borrow them from myself, because all my accounts are on NA anyway, so I might as well. Okay, for now, I guess I'll put all the Pyro and Electro characters I got. Oh, Animo too, I guess, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, haha, this this Gene C6, so I'm certainly putting that on. Genuine. Yeah, okay. I guess Shenyun's okay. Oh, Shangling. My Shangling on this account, I actually really like her build here. So I think I'll just forego Raiden Shogun, because she's just C0 on this account. And on my other account, she's already C2. Or sorry, C3. Sure. Genuine, yeah. Oathsworn Eye. Oh, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Show the Shangling. I think. Well, I don't want to get out of here, but I think I can show you. Here. No, it's not here. Okay, I don't know where I can. I don't know where I can change it, where I can see it, but I think I should be able to in a bit here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So I actually really like my Shangling build here. Like, look at that. Right? Like, who would not be happy with that build? I think I'm so comfortable with this build. And remember, this is on the catch, so that's like 82 crit rate. Now, granted, more EM would have been nice, but like 180, like close to 200, that's not bad. Very low attack though, because I'm on an ER Sands. But yeah, like it's great. Like I would love my other Shanglings to have this kind of build. Now, my other Shanglings are not that far behind, but my main account Shangling, I think, only has like 62 crit rate. I don't remember, but yeah, it's not great. Hail the pole arm Archon. Hail the pole arm Archon. Yep. I guess it kind of makes sense that Shangling is that strong, right? Because like, isn't she's the only character that we have that has a literal god for a pet? So I guess like all all of Marchosis's brain cells got melted into Shangling, and like Shangling, like all that power radiated into Shangling, and that's why she's so OP. Mine's just disappointing. Well, I did farm the emblem domain for like 2 years straight, so well, I get you know, like it paid off. Supporting casts. Sure. You, and okay, this is a lot of characters, so I think I'm gonna be able to select most of these. I guess I will. Wait, is are you on the correct build? No, you're only at 500 EM. What are you missing? What are you missing? Okay, an EM gilded piece. The only EM gilded piece I have is on Cookie. Okay, so I'll just use some other piece then. Wait. I only have literally 2 EM main stat circlets on this account. Well, you know, the ones that are leveled. But wow, I did not expect that actually. I guess I could level this one. Well, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. I just thought about it and I like, okay, the only reason why Razor is built full EM here is this is for Thundering Fury, and obviously that doesn't work without Hydro and Dendro, because like there's only Pyro and Electro. Okay, so no, I'm not putting Razor in there. Okay, Beidou. Is Beidou built? Attack seems right. Crit ratio is sad. Do you even have the right goblet on? Okay, you do. Crit ratio is very sad. Have a god as a pet. I've always lived in the emblem domain. Yeah, unlike you, I quit a lot and return a lot. Yeah, there's so many, I think there are so many things to say about the IT. Well, again, I'll just call it IT from now on because like Imaginarium Theater is like way too long to say every single time. Um, so there are so many things to say about it. Wait, am I actually gonna be forced to use Diluc? Oh no, I still had Venti. Is Venti on the right set? Ooh. Where is Animo, Electro? Okay, that's EM. Where's my VV piece? Is it on Janyan? It is on Janyan. Do I have any other VV piece that I can level up? One with EM, preferably? Okay, I do have one. One with ER would have been ideal, but okay, let's see if these get ER. Hey, what's up, Stella? How you doing, man? Zhongli Daddy comes in 5.2 patch. Shall I pull him or Nivelette? That is a tough question. That is a tough question. Do you want comfort or do you want enemies to die faster? That is the question you have to answer. So try and think about this for a moment. If you ever need to fight really aggressive, really hard-hitting enemies, and having a Zhongli means that you can just decide, oh, this is getting annoying. I'm getting tired of this. I'm just like, screw it. Use Zhongli, and then, okay, finally, I don't have to dodge anymore. Right? That's how it's gonna be if you have a Zhongli on your account. Whereas having a Nivelette, if you ever get into a situation where you're like, oh no, this enemy is too tanky, or oh, like look at the current Abyss, the Abyss right now, where we have so much pyro, so many pyro shields that we have to break. And when in this case, Nivelette comes in, he is your fast Hydra applier and a strong DPS in one character. And you're like, okay, problem solved. Right? That's sort of what Nivelette is. And like you have to decide which one you prefer. Which future obstacle you you prefer to not have to deal with. Because like imagine having to deal with the current Abyss, the pyro side, the elemental check side, without Nivelette. And or having to deal with consecrated beasts, like let's say 2 or 3 consecrated beasts at the same time. Or like the Pokemon trainers, the Eremite Pokemon trainers. Imagine having to deal with 2 or 3 of those at the same time, without a Zhongli. And like you decide which problem you would rather not have to deal with. And that's how you decide. I've been extremely addicted to Sucrose National lately. Loving the classics. I've been so mad at my Shangling build. Sucrose certainly, I think, yeah, like Sucrose is great. Like the only thing that the only reason why I even prefer Kazuha over Sucrose in Sucrose National is mostly because Kazuha is just more comfy to use. But Sucrose is so much easier to get a double swirl on. So like I've never really actually been able to maximize my national team. Mostly because I just don't bother double swirling. Oh, okay. I'll invite someone then. Hmm. Oh no! Wait. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna borrow my own hotel on my main account because that's like that hotel is kind of a beast. I'm gonna have to set that up first. Also releasing a hydro catalyst that can be on par with Nivelette. I think someone earlier said that. I think I'm not sure. Okay, obviously that wasn't you because you're also saying it again now. But someone else said that earlier. That there are rumors that there's gonna be a Zhongli and a Nivelette power creep is what they said. I'm gonna say primos till that patch. At that time, I'll be having so many primos and able to pull both. Hey, that would be ideal. Okay, so who do I want to share on this account? So no Dendros this time, no Hydros this time. Animo, Electro. Let me see. So this is the second account. Hmm. Ah, okay. I know now. I'm gonna share my main account Clorinde and Hutao. Now on this account, I wonder who I need to share. These are just speculations. Always put a grain of salt on it. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, like, there's still currently rumors, at least according to that one guy from earlier. Animo. Bennett. No. Wait. Okay. Okay. So this Bennett, I'm on the second account now, and this Bennett is not C6. So I might want that as an option. Okay. And then I guess I'll just put all the other ones, just in case some of my other friends. Well, they're not necessarily my friends, but they're like just people that are on my friend list, I guess. Can, like, if they need to borrow them, so at least they can borrow them. Um, okay, I guess I'll put Clorinde in there. Also, okay, no, yeah, all right. I certainly hope this updates in real time. Virtual friends. I mean, I don't even talk to them. I don't even know who they are. Like, some of them are people that are people that so I remember one of them, at least one of them was somebody who helped me out way back then, like almost 4 years ago. Somebody who helped me out like almost 4 years ago farm the Thundering Fury domain. And then everybody else is just like random people that add me and never really message me or anything. There are a couple people who are viewers here, but like I think they've fully quit Genshin because I haven't seen them on stream in a long time, and I haven't seen their accounts logged for a long time. How to add one player, other players build characters in theater party. So Stella, you have to your friends have to do what I'm doing now. So going in here and going to supporting cast, and then adding characters in here that are actually eligible. Because again, right now, right, like it says right here, this season's elemental type requirements. So your friends have to go in here, and then add these types of characters into here. Through Ride the Shogun, Clorinde, Tao. I guess Kazuha. Okay, Venti. I guess Diaz. It's something. Okay, I guess my Jianyu in here is also pretty cool. Oh, what about my Diluc? Yeah, okay. My Diluc here is actually kind of built. So, sure, I'll put that on. But he's built... This Diluc is built for plunge attack. So, I guess I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Rebuilding Yelan. Is Fading Twilight R5. Fading Twilight R5 good weapon honor. Wrong person if you like just go Favonius Bow, man. Whoever your Favonius Bow is on right now, that's the wrong character. Put it on Yelan. Putting it on Yelan is gonna save you so much trouble and so much frustration. Rip Farazan. Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're not planning on running Yelan and Farazan at the same time, or if you can find a way around running them both at the same time. Okay, not gonna lie, Farazan didn't come to mind. I didn't think about Farazan. Yeah, actually Farazan really needs Favbo. Farazan's ER requirements are just crazy. I can't believe like people were somehow able to work around her really high ER requirements. Okay, I wonder who I should borrow. Oh, this is pretty cool. You can even see their builds from here. That's pretty cool. Okay. Not gonna lie, that's okay. I will say though, the UI, they've really thought the UI through. Oh, hey, what's up, Taz? How are you, man? ER is locked behind constellations. ER Regin. Oh, really? Which constellation is that? So I wonder which one I should borrow. I guess Hu Tao on this account is kind of okay. I guess the only thing I don't have on this account is Dia and C3 Raiden Shogun. I think I'll go for that, because Dia's not really very helpful. Okay, Benti, Jean. What even is Jean's build on this account? Oh, I have 3 4VV sets? Venti and Jean. Wow. I'm surprised. You, and of course you. And one more. Yeah. 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 Alright, we're good. ER region. C4, I think. It solves the ER issues. Really? Wow, that is unfortunate. I mean, like, it's kind of it's not great. I'm not saying it's not bad, but it is sort of normal in Genshin because she's a 4-star. You think I should go for C2 Kokomi? I don't think anyone should go for C2 Kokomi, Loreno. I'm sorry. Kokomi is already... she's like 99% of her value is just like you get it from C0. Unless if you're just like hell-bent on making her an on-field DPS, on-field damage dealer, then sure, I guess you'll get a lot more value from like constellations, but like if your only use for her is just how 99% of players use her, which is just AoE off-field Hydra application and healing, then you won't really feel any difference at all. It's not normal. You plan to get Kokomi Const. Yai C1 versus C6 official. I don't actually remember Yai's constellations now. I kind of want to get back to our really deep discussion from earlier about IoT. There were actually quite a lot of stuff that I think should still be talked about. Hey, what's up, Aaliyah? Good to see you, Aaliyah. How are you? Also, yesterday you left. Okay, I understand. I like it was very late. I understand it was very late, and like it took me so long to finally get to finally get to doing the Imaginarium Theater, so I could show you how to use what's it called Arlecchino. But today you came just just in the nick of time. I had to study. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Please take care of real life before some random dude on the internet. IT is pretty easy. Yeah, it's combat wise, like it really doesn't need that much in terms of like how strong your characters are. As long as you've built like a certain number of characters to a certain amount of strength, that's it. Like you kind of don't really need much more. Okay, so here we go. I'm actually literally about to use her. So this was actually perfect timing for you, Aaliyah. Alright, let's put you in here because I kind of don't really care about using your vigor. Your overload. Okay. Oh, yikes. I might want to do that. Darn it. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. Captain Eisen from Bleach. That's actually exactly why my second and third accounts are named Aizen. They're literally named after Captain Aizen from Bleach. Okay. Alright, I did not use that correctly. What does rewind do, by the way? Okay, sorry. Okay. I did not use that properly. So anyway, I'm gonna try doing that again. So Aliyah, before I begin, I'm gonna try and explain it a little bit first. So what you want to do on Arlecchino is, like, if you have Arlecchino on a team, you want to start with her, and you press E, right? And you want to hit, like, you don't necessarily have to hit enemies with them, but you just don't be like 6 miles away from them when you press your skill. Right, like, just be in the general vicinity as your enemies. Ah, is it or Okay, I've been saying your name as So you typed in double A's, so I'm assuming that's Aliyah. Okay, so I've been saying your name correctly. Okay, great. But yeah, so you want to start with Arlecchino and just use your skill as soon as you can, and then you swap off. Don't do anything on Arlecchino yet. Aliyah. Okay, so I was reading your name correctly. All right, cool. Good to know that. So again, start off with Arlecchino. Use her skill ASAP, and then don't do anything on her just yet. Swap off of her. Use your other character's abilities. Okay, I'm gonna start, and then I'm gonna show what that looks like. All right, so I'm gonna swap to Arlecchino. I'm gonna use her skill, and I'm gonna go on my other characters, use their abilities. Alright, and then when you swap back to Arlecchino, you do a charged attack, and then you will be doing pyro damage. Now, it is granted Arlecchino's a little on the hard side to use. Because you can't heal Arlecchino. So you have to be dodging properly, or you have to have a really good shielder with her. And that's kind of it. Like, as soon as you, so again, start with Arlecchino, use her skill, and 3D. I know, wrong person. I just don't want to. Like, it just, her fourth, like, her hits after her third normal attack, they just look so satisfying to watch. That's why I just do the full attack string. Even Opium trial. I know, right? Like, even though this is a trial character, yeah. You're not pronouncing it right, but never mind. I mean, okay. Aliyah. Is that not? That's how I'm reading your sorry, syllabication. Yeah. UUH is and then LEE is Lee, and then YA is yeah. Right? Aliyah.
想像したものって恐ろしい呪いにかかって溶けない氷に心臓を封印されて果てし薄い霧がかかった森の中で
But she typed UUH, which makes me think and not
クラッカーの紙切れを浴びながら女王陛下から勲章を授かる俺にとっちゃどれも本当にこれからあなたはとそしたら俺はここに来てた
Okay, now she says yes to AH, which is But you typed in UH earlier, UUH, which is
ドアボーイとして俺ももっと頑張らないと
Are they not even sure how to pronounce mine? Just going for Kokoshu? No? Wait, does it sound like Kokoshu? Because I have been reading your name as Chokoshu. Unless it sounds like Kokoshu. Like really, I have been reading your name this entire time as Chokoshu. Collectible effects one time. Will increase by 1 when choosing Wondrous Boon event. Sure, I guess. Another free one. I guess I'll take that. 2 chances, reroll selectable events. Consume all Fantasia flowers in your possession and 1 random alternate. No thanks. That's because that's a lot of Fantasia flowers. Yeah, sure. Oh man, Venti would have been nice here. Okay, yeah, never mind. This is really annoying. Leah is the only way I can describe it, but more like Leah. Oh yeah. For some reason, I read Leah as Leah, when that's typically read as Leia, because I remember I had a classmate once named Leia, and that's literally the spelling Leah. But yeah, like Leah. So it's it's not, so it's like you should have typed it as AH and not UH earlier. But okay, I got it. Alia. Mine's going crazy. Level 80 bosses. Oh, you mean in the IT? Okay, I'm probably gonna prefer mobility in here. So you're gonna come in handy. Let's see. You too, I guess. Oh man. Am I really gonna be using up cookies and... Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, sure. Just call me Leah. You're butchering my name. I'm sorry, man. Hey, I mean, it's the internet. At the very least, I'm trying. Most people on the internet would just laugh at you. Just be like, "What? That's your name?" Swirl reactions, huh? I did not pay attention to that. It's an Arabic language, so I don't expect people to know how to pronounce it, of course. Ah. Well, thanks for trying to help us out to pronounce it. At least we got to try. % of damage. 5 seconds after triggering. Overloaded reaction on opponents. Opponent's defeated. There's 50% chance on Shockwave. Your character uses elements of skill. Crit rate for your character's normal attacks. Okay, that is very specific. I think I'll just go with this. Let's see. Triggers a swirl. Crit damage increases by 10% for 6 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. The active character triggers a swirl on an opponent. Increases or decreases. But that's a bond of life. Defeated. Okay. I guess I'll go with that. I should maybe get the 8 medals next time to satisfy my completionist behavior. 8 medals? Sorry, what medals? Like this thing? Right, those aren't medals. Those are stars, I believe. Oh man, okay. I don't have any more Electro characters. Okay, I think I'll just, yeah, whatever. I don't want to use up anybody else's vigor. I think Raiden Shogun should be just enough for this. Oh, yikes. Do your thing. I'm already hitting you with so much electro. Okay. Stars is like getting stars from the teacher. I never actually thought of it that way. Anyway, Leah, so did you get what I... Yeah, did you get my explanation from earlier about Arlecchino? If you didn't, DVR mode is on, so you could always go back in the stream, even now, live.
もしお客さんが新しいパフォーマンスのコツ、つまり友情って。
Yeah, like the hard part about using Arlecchino is the fact that she can't be healed. So you either have to just get good at dodging enemy attacks, or you're gonna have to pair her with a really good shielder. Because you kind of don't want to heal Arlecchino, because if you run Arlecchino with a healer, you're gonna use up her bond of life, like the red bar on her HP, faster. And the faster you use up that red bar, the shorter the time that you're gonna have to be able to use her on the field. Because while you have that red bar on your HP, you can use her on field because she will be doing pyro damage. But if you don't have any bond of life, then she'll just be doing physical attacks, which you don't want. Her bond of life does not trigger for me. So be careful not to use her burst. Because, okay, so number one, you have to have enemies that are... You have to use your skill, right? You have to have enemies that are marked by it. And you either do a charged attack because you sort of have to absorb those marks. And that's what the charged attack is for. The charged attack sort of absorbs those marks. But it's also okay if you don't absorb them. If you kill those enemies, then Arlecchino will absorb those marks. But if you don't kill them, then you still have to do the charged attack in order to get the bond of life. But if you use your burst, you will get a lot of healing for Arlecchino. You'll do a lot of damage as well. And you'll also use up all your bond of life. So don't use your burst. Your burst is really only for emergencies. Like if you suddenly need a lot of healing for her, that's the only time you should ever use her healing, or sorry, her burst. Unless if you are confident that you have enough energy recharge to burst every rotation. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then just completely ignore that, and then just you only use her burst when you really need healing. Burst damage is really garbage pre C6. Really? I thought people weren't people saying that it was actually good? Because it's like it's similar to Hu Tao's burst, where it's like one big hit. Oh, I have Bennett. Okay, it'll be useful. Attacks the active character, hit opponents. Attacks the active character, hit an opponent, and they have more than 70% elemental energy. Unleash. Okay. Bond of Life, defeating an opponent. Party members regain 30% of their max HP. This can be triggered up to 1. Okay, Overload is triggered. Shockwave. Physical. More than 70% elemental energy. So it is overloaded. Okay, so this is a lot more universal. Okay, I think this is kind of okay because we have Kazuha already. Garbage damage is really bad, and you shouldn't burst even at the end of your rotation because more Bond of Life translates to more damage, so you will want to stack the leftovers. Ah, yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, ignore everything else I said, Aaliyah. Just don't use your burst unless if you really just need healing on your Arlecchino, because that's the only way to heal Arlecchino. Oh no! No! Messed up. I thought Bennett was on number 3. Also, why am I not using Clorinde? That will be kept for the active character when they use normal charge or plunging attacks, deal pyro damage to an opponent. When tally reaches 4, count will reset. Infernal Shockwave will be unleashed. AoE pyro damage every 3 seconds. Be kept when they deal a crit hit to an opponent. Talent reaches 4. Okay. But I think this is better. I think these are groupable, so I might as well use Venti. And I think these enemies are not super tanky. So okay, this is kind of funny. I'm gonna be using a plunge wanderer. Okay, so first off, wait, how did I? This is hilarious. Oh no, this is not. Okay, let's switch wanderer here. $31K. This is doing more damage. This is doing more damage than it would normally. Although I am nowhere near how many enemies I have to defeat in the time limit. But this, not gonna lie, this is fun. Ow. 21 seconds to defeat 15 enemies? That's not happening. Yeah. Artistry makes me want to log on to Genshin, continue building my account, and then I get demotivated so fast. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put in the effort. I'm gonna build my characters. I'm gonna make them stronger. And then like you're logged in, and then like you realize reality. Oh, sick. You're like, oh my goodness. Okay, I thought, okay, well, I was sure I was gonna do it, but then like, okay, I guess not. I kind of don't want to use these. I want to use them. Oh no, did I? Oh, I already used up Chevreuse. I could have used that on the last boss. Oh, well, okay. Alright. Maybe... I guess, sure. Okay, sure. Yeah, something. That's lame. I don't like it. Event. The Spino Blaster event. Or are you talking about the Imaginarium Theater one? because this is not an event. Wow, that was good. Tough without having to use my proper characters. Ten seconds for 8 enemies? Sounds like a challenge that I'm gonna fail. Because I keep stuttering. Stuttering, no. I keep getting staggered. You know, I was excited for an Arlecchino rerun, and then now I realized I'm not gonna want to use Arlecchino. I'm not gonna want to be able to pull for Arlecchino without C1. So annoying. The one that shoots Hydra. Is not having C1 that bad. It's mostly the resistance to interruption, really. Like if you're gonna run Arlecchino all the time with a really good shielder, then it's not that big of a deal. But if you ever plan on not running her with a shielder, then it's really annoying. Seconds after use a skill, crit rate for normal. Okay, no. Overload. Normal charge or plunging attacks. No. Swirl reaction. Okay, I think this is a bit more realistic. 1 vigor to 1 random character. In this act's combat event, the active character loses 5% of max HP each time they deal a crit hit, triggering. No, that is awful. I always use her with Zhongli. Yeah, because, like, you know, we can't use Zhongli in here. But, like, Arlecchino is one of the better characters to use here. So it's very clear how bad it is in this game mode. Oh, man. Oof. Oh, well. I'm not gonna be able to use Raiden Shogun for later. I guess I should use Venti? I mean... Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess that'll be good enough. Then Hu Tao maybe. Oh wait, I just realized I don't have a healer. Wait, is gonna be an issue? Oh, Alhaitham's dead. Okay, so both either. Okay, so we'll let go. At least I'm thankful her ideal combo is short, so you can dodge more easily without losing damage. Yeah, that's true. That is a pretty big advantage. Active character receives 15% more damage when they receive healing. They call... Okay, receives. So I'll be squishier. Being an opponent, all party members regain 30% of their max HP. Okay, it's a healing thing. When they deal a crit hit to an opponent, tally reaches. Elemental bursts are used. Alright, I think this is better. Alright, I think Arlecchino would be good in here. Did I? Oh no, I already used up Arlecchino. And like a certain Yoimiya. Yoimi. You're right. Yeah, I just realized now. Yeah, Yoimiya does have that huge like disadvantage to her compared to Arlecchino. Cause like Yoimiya, like the only No, I wouldn't say the only useful one, but like all her hits are good, but like so much damage is locked behind that last hit of her normal attack string. And if you have to dodge or get staggered before it happens, it is such a damage loss. So you're like required to bring a shielder with her, or at least somebody that gives you resistance to interruption. Guys, I'm not enjoying this mode even one bit. It's really annoying. Like, I feel like I've never really timed myself how long it takes me to get through it, but like it really feels like it takes so much longer. Okay, I have no more Electro characters. I can't even use Alhaitham because he can't spread anymore. I should have used my currency more on more of my currency on getting characters. But hey, whatever, we're already here. Can't do anything about it now. Where is that? Oh, where am I getting Electro from? Oh, it's probably from one of the boons. Yeah, this is definitely from one of the boons. Oh my god. This thing is so annoying. Keeps running backwards. I pull units to use them, and this mode takes it away. Ah, yes, that's another one too, yeah. That's another one that this game mode sort of takes away from you. Is you're pulling for characters that you want to play because you like their playstyle. And you can't do that with this game mode because you're forced to only play certain characters because of the elemental restrictions.
Yosh! 出発しようか!
Oh, this is it. Final boss.
みんながそばにいてくれるわ。傷なんて痛まない。
熱々でしょ。
I'm gonna stick to Abyss. Well, the thing is, wrong person. News flash. Abyss now only resets once a month. Which means, and the reason why they did that is that, so remember Abyss used to reset twice a month, right? So Imaginarium Theater is essentially replacing the other Abyss reset. I think, now, I haven't done the math yet on how many primos you get, but I think at least like from before this game was released, rumors were that like overall both Abyss and IT give overall slightly more primos, but not by much, really. Total performance duration 9 minutes. It does not feel like 9 minutes. It has not been 9 minutes. Sorry guys, but I had reverted to ZZZ. Hey, no problem, man. I mean, like, how is ZZZ so far? Like, the combat over there seems a lot more fun. For those who are more combat oriented, but the thing that I'm avoiding so much of ZZZ is the TV screen thing. The TV screen thing in ZZZ is, I think, unbearable. Like, and I haven't even played it. I've just seen people play it. Alright guys, I'm pulling for Lycoan. Is that supposed to be Lycan?
星とし無事今日の
Complete Act 3. Complete Act 6. Complete Act 8. Complete. Having invited, okay. Gain 3 toy medals. Learn 3. What? Oh, okay. Entire performance, Imaginarium Theater, on any difficulties like having selected at least 8 mystery cache events, I didn't use 8 wondrous boons? I felt like I used so many. I even had trouble with like how limited the number of characters I had was because I was using wondrous boons so much. Last time I did a run of this, I picked like every card or whatever like thing I picked was the one that gave me another character. But this time, like I specifically picked wondrous boons a bit more because I wanted to try and get this achievement.
私は自身
This is still way more fun. Oh, best of luck to you, Ems. Good luck, man. Yep, this is still a lot more fun than the Imaginarium Theater. Yep, still 10 times more fun.
り取りなさい。私のお家にいらっしゃい。覚え。
厄払い。いいとよ。到達せ
もらった。はっややてっはっやたっせっ褒美をされる大松となるがいい。
世界の熱狂の渦に遠くを発す。
岩山発球はっはっその手は食わぬ。ここでマイはっ騒ぐな。博士、私は最後。
歌え。僕の名のもとにお披露目だ。
難攻不落。風の雲の静粛に大松となるがいい。
光り輝くがいい。遠くをたたえ。
岩山発球はっそこだ。私は下げる。
世界の熱狂の渦にお披露目だ。
雲が借りなくていい。
どの目が出るか。やっおとなしくしな。
理論の演劇。
かかれ。せい。私を怒らすといいとよ。到達せい。
痛くしちゃうかも。
Hey, welcome back, Leah.
強制
Did you need to study today too?
誰だ。騒ぐな。
光り輝くがいい。遠くをたたえ。
私は剣女盤石。風を知れ。ちったく生だ。もみちが散らまく惜しみ。静粛に高き。私は
歌え。僕の名のもとに止めてくれ。
How's the day off? Oh, wait,
風の
what?
赴くままに。
Tomorrow's your day off?
世界の熱狂の渦にチェジャー。
Oh, hey, what's up, Bozen? How you doing, man?
騒ぐな。たふんはっ静粛に。
Day off from my tuition. Sorry, what does that mean? Day off from tuition? You mean you don't have to pay tuition for tomorrow? Oh, why did I teleport here? I'm gonna go to sleep, man. Alright, hey, thanks for hanging out with us for quite a bit. Wrong person. I was just sort of gathering my thoughts. on what I think about Imaginarium Theater. Because, like, there's so many things about it that it does to Genshin. And not just to Genshin, but, like, it changes like, so many dynamics so much. I guess I should write these down. No, I don't even know, like, what I should even write down. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, oh, good night, wrong person. Take care, man. But just the fact that this encourages players to build more characters, and, like, because for a very long time now, the general mindset of the try-hard player has been pull for the most OP characters, like the most worth it the characters that are the most worth our primogems, and only those characters, and only wait for their reruns whenever they get released. But now, like, Imaginarium Theater has made it so now, and because that mindset was mainly because of the way the Spiral Abyss worked, where there's a timer, and, like, and you have to beat that timer to get the most rewards that you are able to get. And enemy HPs are really, really high, much higher than the enemies in the Imaginarium Theater. People are incentivized to build two or three teams on their accounts and keep building just those 2 or 3 teams forever. And they are not incentivized to pull for more characters. Instead, they're incentivized to pull for more constellations, to hyper invest, to vertically invest. Whereas Imaginarium Theater, it incentivizes people, more so forces people, really. It forces players to have to change that mindset, like that mindset where I have to make my characters stronger, I have to make my team stronger. Instead of doing that, I just have to make them strong enough, and I need more of them. Not more strength, but more characters that are strong enough. And I think so. Okay, so, like, I remember one point that somebody brought up earlier that I haven't addressed yet, and it was the fact that now, because we have to build more characters, this is gonna be especially harder on newer players, because they don't have as many materials as some of the older players. But having to build more characters means you're gonna be having to use up a lot more of your resources. So resources such as Mora, XP books, talent materials, ascension materials, and not to mention weapon ascension materials, and overall, like, just overworld materials that you get from mobs, from mobs and enemies. And that is, I think, very taxing. Now, because they've decided to replace one of the 2 Abyss resets that we used to have every month. Now, they've replaced one of those 2 monthly Abyss resets with Imaginarium Theater. So now, players who are still in the process of building their characters and accounts have now have to either put effort into both directions, which is vertically investing into 2 or 3 teams to get as many stars in the Spiral Abyss, and horizontally investing so that they can get more stars in the Imaginarium Theater. So I think it's gonna drastically increase the amount of time that it takes for a new player to go from getting 0 rewards from both Imaginarium Theater from both Imaginarium Theater and the Spiral Abyss to getting all the rewards. Because back then you were rewarded for hyper investing into your teams and characters. You were rewarded for not pulling for more characters. You were rewarded for pulling for constellations, because constellations makes the same characters stronger. But then that doesn't really matter in the Imaginarium Theater, because in the Imaginarium Theater you need strength, but only to a certain extent, because enemies here are a lot squishier than the enemies in the Spiral Abyss. But once you reach that threshold, you kind of don't really need, like, you do benefit a bit more from just having stronger characters, but because those because of the vigor mechanic, you're only gonna be able to use those characters twice, maybe 3 times if you get like the special boon that gives you an extra vigor, but like 2 or 3 times, mostly 2 times. So all that investment that you've put into that character, and you're only gonna be able to use it twice. The only constellations I have is the Traveler. Hey, I mean, you know, at the very least you have constellations, man. I did not even bother getting Traveler constellations. Like way back then. This was like Mondstadt and, you know, sorry, not Mondstadt. Geo and Animo constellations. Didn't even bother getting them way back then, because I didn't even know how to. I didn't even have any constellations on Traveler, and I kind of just sort of forgot about Traveler because like I just didn't use them. Geo Traveler was usable, sure, but then like if you really had no choice, but Animo Traveler just completely unusable, really. Now, so that puts so much pressure on newer players. Newer players who want to get more stars in the Spiral Abyss and more stars in the Imaginarium Theater sooner, because they're gonna have to farm a lot of overworld materials from monsters in as soon as as soon as possible, because they're gonna have to build more characters sooner just to get more stars in the Imaginarium Theater. And going back to what I mentioned earlier, that I don't think the Imaginarium Theater directly makes Hoyo more money, just because it incentivizes players to pull for more characters instead of vertically investing. Because vertically investing also includes pulling for weapons and constellations. And obviously a weapon is a weapon, right? In fact, the weapon banner might actually make more money for Genshin than the character banners, because the pity is hard pity, for including the what is it called? Epitomized path is much higher than hard pity for characters. And obviously a constellation is just as good as, just as good as a unique 5-star character. Because it costs the same amount of primos, or Genesis crystals if you're a whale or a spender, to get one constellation as it is to get one unique limited 5-star character. So I don't think it directly makes Hoyo more money, but I do think that in the next 1 or 2 years it will directly make Hoyo more money. Because I'm sure there are a lot of players right now who have characters and teams like that are built for endgame, like already strong enough for endgame and like can easily clear Spiral Abyss, but haven't played the game for long enough that they have those teams built really well and a bunch of extra characters to give them a lot more team building freedom. And because those players were rewarded for vertically investing, because that's the only thing that they kept doing, and that's not their fault, because like who imagined that Imaginarium Theater would be something like this, would be the way that it is now. And I think those players, like some of them, the ones who can afford to, are going to spend a bit more than they would have normally over the next 1 to 2 years, because they're gonna feel like they have to catch up. They have to catch up. They have to have the rest of their account catch up with the characters and teams that they've already really built. And they're gonna feel like, oh no, I get rewards from Spiral Abyss half as often now, but Spiral Abyss is the only thing that I could max rewards on. I don't have enough character to get max rewards on the Imaginarium Theater. I guess I'm gonna have to pull for more characters. But I don't have enough free Primo Gems to pull for this character and the next character in the second half of this patch and the character after that. So that leaves them with more opportunity to get into a situation where they might think, I'm gonna have to buy Primo Gems. If they can afford to, of course. But the ones who can't afford to, that's definitely not gonna happen. I have no idea how the team builds work. Leah, excuse me. How long have you been playing Genshin? And what adventure rank are you? 6 months. Is that 6 months of very active gameplay? Like, have you been logging in every day, using your resin, and doing your daily commissions? My hands are not working. It's all right, man. So has the past 6 months been very active gameplay? Like, you log in every day, you do your dailies every day, shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? You use your resin, you don't let it cap. You've been doing all the events. Like, how active has that been? I play, but not that often. Okay, so yeah, on and off, I guess. All right, sounds reasonable. You know, I think I really should make a video out of this, like, because this is sort of a topic that I think a lot of players could really get some help with. Like, that's actually a very good, well, you didn't necessarily ask a question, but you did say you have no idea how team builds work, etc. I think this is a topic that I think deserves its own video. Now, as for how I'm gonna even get started on that, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to take some time to think about that. Okay, I guess I'll just get started with, like, I guess the basics. Because this is a topic that I have really been meaning to for quite some time now, meaning to make a video on. And it's more like an oversimplified guide into Genshin's combat mechanics and team building. Not necessarily theory crafting, but basically just a foolproof guide, like a guide that would have helped me so much 3 years ago, because I'm an idiot. I'm actually stupid. It took me more than a year to figure out how the game worked, like at least combat wise. So like the video that I'm thinking about, like I want to make, is that kind of guide, like a foolproof guide, an oversimplified guide into Genshin's team building and combat mechanics. Okay, well anyway, like for now I'm just gonna give you a rundown of it. So obviously, like there are multiple characters in Genshin, right? And all of them, like, no, not all of them, but like they do different things. And that sounds really simple and like, yeah, well, duh. Right? It sounds obvious, but I mean that in a way, like, for example, most players who have played video games, like who are not new to video games, will know that, okay, there's support characters and then there's DPSs. DPSs are characters that whose main jobs are to do damage. And sure, okay, that's fine. That's not a bad way to think about it. But in Genshin, basically, almost anyone can deal damage. Even the characters that would be normally considered as supports. Like, for example, Fischl is considered a support character generally, right? Like a lot of players, especially the players who have been playing for a long time now, do not consider Fischl as a support. What I don't understand is how some of the characters are compatible with others, with some others, and that stuff. Yeah, like, and like I'm trying to like establish like at least like a baseline here as to like what mindset you would have to be in to sort of understand, because I don't want to just tell you, I don't want to just give you fish. I want to teach you how to fish. So that's why, like, I want to tell you like what, like, I guess a mindset that you need to have to be able to figure out how each character slots in with other characters. Hey, what's up? Sorry, Srimathi. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm very sure I read your name very wrong, but very incorrectly. But please correct me if I read your name wrong. Anyway, hi man. What's up? What's your favorite character? I have many favorite characters for different reasons, Loreno. So, that's you, Stella? Is this a different YouTube account, or did you change? Did you change your name? One of my favorite characters would be. So character-wise, like their personality and stuff. That would be Yaimiko. She's like a good mixture of like character design and personality. She's just one of my favorites. Combat-wise, no. Like, I don't like her. As for playstyle, my favorite playstyle is probably a toss-up between Hu Tao's playstyle and Diluc's playstyle. I just really like their playstyles. I also like a bunch of other playstyles, but like some of these are not necessarily each character playstyle. Like Rational, right? Like this team's playstyle, I really dig. So that doesn't answer the question which character. So yeah, I have many favorite characters for different reasons. Gotta go. I need to sleep. I need to go sleep. All right. Hey, Aliyah, if you have a Discord, I would actually recommend you go join our Discord server. Like links are in the description of it's in the pinned message in YouTube chat. There's also in the description of all my streams. And like ping me over there if you have a question you could just ping me. My name is Elvis Einstein on our Discord server. If you have like a very specific question, like, God, just ask me. There's also a bunch of other really smart people over there, so you know that you could just ask. Yeah, we have a need help channel. You can go over there if you need very specific help. You always go rational. I do. This is my personal Gmail. You spelled my name correctly. Did I say your, like, are you sure I actually said your name correctly? Shrimathi? Yeah, anyway, hey, thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by, Leah. Good night, man. Yeah, I might be heading off here pretty soon, too. I kind of done what I needed to do today. Resin, Dailies, Imaginarium Theater. On my third account. Yeah, that's sort of everything I needed to do today. Yes, wow. I'm surprised I actually got your name correctly. First try, too. I think you're just trying to make me feel better. I think... I get the feeling that I completely butchered that name. And you're just saying that, hey, you read it correctly to make me feel better. If you are, thanks. I appreciate it. But if I actually did read it correctly, then hey, cool. Srimathi. Sri? So it's Sri, not Sri. Because I think I read it as Sri and not Sri. Ma-thi. Okay, yeah, I got Ma and Thi correctly, but I don't think I read the SRI as Sri. But instead I read it as Sri. Yeah, well, anyway, there's not much left for me to do, guys. And it's getting kind of late, so I think I'm gonna hit the hay. Why is this a little... Why is Furina a little shorter than usual? Usually I could see the eyes if I use this, like the zoomed in thing, but for some reason I'm not able to this time. I wonder what's wrong. Huh. I'm confused why. Alright, well, whatever. Yeah, anyway, for those of you who need help building their characters' accounts, making a decision on which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description of all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in YouTube chat. If you want my opinion personally, you can ping me over there. My name is Elvis Einstein. Of course, you can ask for other people's opinions too. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. Bye, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming by. Yeah, good night, everyone. Or have a good day, or good afternoon. Bye.
これほど美しき景色を見ればおのずと旅がしたくなるものであろう。